Hollywood is a place where dreams come true. But for some, the journey to fame started far from the spotlight. Behind the glitz and glamour of Tinseltown are stories of redemption, resilience, and reinvention. In this video, we're spotlighting 5 incredible actors who defied their troubled pasts and transformed their lives. They went from felonies to film sets, proving that second chances can lead to stardom. Who are these unlikely Hollywood success stories? How did they overcome their dark chapters to shine on the silver screen? Get ready to meet the felons who rewrote their own scripts in more ways than one. Stick around as we take you through their extraordinary journeys, starting with one man who went from prison boxing rings to the big leagues of Hollywood. Danny Trejo, a man whose journey from crime and chaos to Hollywood stardom is nothing short of extraordinary. Today, we're diving into the life of this legendary actor, activist, and former inmate who turned his life around against all odds. Danny Trejo was born on May 16, 1944, in Echo Park, Los Angeles, California, to Mexican-American parents. Raised in a turbulent environment, Danny's childhood was marked by hardship and violence. He grew up in Pacoima, a tough neighborhood in the San Fernando Valley, where crime was a way of life. His father, Dionisio Trejo, was a construction worker who provided for the family. But the streets soon became Danny's playground. He fell in with a rough crowd, and by his early teens, Danny was deeply entrenched in gang culture. He joined one of the local street gangs, seeking camaraderie and protection. As a young man, Danny's life spiraled further into crime. He committed robberies, assaulted rivals, and became addicted to heroin by the age of 12. His criminal activities led to multiple arrests, and he spent his formative years in and out of juvenile detention centers. Danny's crimes escalated. Armed robbery and drug dealing were among the most serious offenses. In the 1960s, during an armed robbery gone wrong, he was arrested and convicted. Facing trial, Danny's future looked grim. Danny was sentenced to multiple years in some of California's most notorious prisons, including San Quentin, Folsom, and Soledad. Prison was a brutal environment, but Danny found a way to survive. Through boxing, Trejo discovered his talent in the ring and quickly became a lightweight and welterweight champion in prison. His reputation as a formidable fighter earned him respect and kept him out of harm's way. He also turned to self-reflection, finding solace in a 12-step recovery program for his drug addiction. In total, Danny spent about 11 years behind bars. His life took a dramatic turn when he made a promise to God. If he ever got out of prison, he would dedicate his life to helping others. This commitment set the foundation for his incredible transformation. After his release in the early 1970s, Danny began working as a drug counselor. He was deeply involved in helping young people and former inmates turn their lives around. In 1985, Danny's life took an unexpected turn. While working as a counselor, he visited the set of Runaway Train to support a young actor in recovery. A production assistant noticed Danny's tough demeanor and asked if he could train the actors for a boxing scene. Director Andrei Konchalovsky was so impressed with Danny's authenticity that he offered him a small role. From there, Danny's career took off. He became a go-to actor for tough guy roles, appearing in films like Desperado, Heat, and Con Air. But it was the Machete franchise that solidified his status as a leading man. Danny never forgot his roots. He's been heavily involved with organizations like Homeboy Industries, which helps former gang members and inmates reintegrate into society. Through his story, Danny inspires countless people to believe in the power of change. Trejo has also found success outside of Hollywood. He owns several businesses, including Trejo's Tacos and Trejo's Donuts, which have become iconic in Los Angeles. Today, Danny Trejo is a beloved figure in Hollywood and beyond. He continues acting, mentoring, and advocating for those who are struggling. His life is proof that it's never too late to turn things around. From the streets of Pacoima to the heights of Hollywood, Danny Trejo's story is one of redemption, resilience, and hope. Our next redemption story will really blow your mind. Richard Cabral, a man whose incredible journey from gang violence to Hollywood stardom is both heartbreaking and inspiring. Today, we're uncovering the remarkable story of this Emmy-nominated actor and advocate for change. Richard Cabral was born on August 28, 1984, in East Los Angeles, California, a neighborhood steeped in rich culture but plagued by gang violence. Raised in a working-class Mexican-American family, Richard's childhood was far from easy. Growing up in a broken home, Richard faced hardship early on. By his teens, he was entrenched in gang culture, seeking identity and protection in the streets. He joined a local gang, a choice that would shape the trajectory of his life. By the time he was 15, Richard had already been arrested multiple times for theft, assault, and drug-related crimes. But his most serious offense came in his early 20s, an attempted murder charge stemming from a gang-related shooting. After a violent incident left a man critically injured, Richard was arrested and charged with attempted murder. Facing serious consequences, his life hit rock bottom. At his trial, the evidence was damning. Richard pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in a California prison. This would be his second major stint behind bars, having already spent time in juvenile detention facilities and county jail. Prison life was brutal, but it forced Richard to confront the reality of his choices. In the harsh environment of incarceration, he found solace in writing and self-reflection. After serving time, Richard vowed to change his life. Upon his release, he connected with Homeboy Industries, a nonprofit organization founded by Father Greg Boyle that helps former gang members reintegrate into society. Through their programs, Richard found support, mentorship, and a community that believed in second chances. It was at Homeboy Industries that he began exploring his creative talents, including poetry and acting. Richard's big break came when he was cast in a short film through connections at Homeboy Industries. His raw, authentic portrayal of a gang member caught the attention of casting directors in Hollywood. Richard quickly gained recognition for his work in gritty dramas, earning critical acclaim for his role as Hector Taunts in American Crime, which earned him an Emmy nomination. His personal experiences lent a level of authenticity that few could match. In addition to acting, Richard has explored his passion for music. Under the moniker Baby Jokes, he released spoken-word poetry and music that reflect his life experiences. While he never pursued music professionally, his artistic endeavors have been deeply personal and impactful. Beyond Hollywood, Richard is a tireless advocate for at-risk youth and formerly incarcerated individuals. He works closely with organizations like Homeboy Industries to inspire others to break the cycle of violence. His work has earned him widespread respect and recognition, not only as an actor but as a symbol of redemption. Today, Richard Cabral continues to build his legacy in Hollywood and beyond. He has appeared in hit shows like Mayans MC and remains a prominent voice for change in his community. From the streets of East LA to the Emmy stage, Richard Cabral's journey is proof that redemption is possible for those who dare to dream. Next up, we're diving into the life of a true legend, Ice-T, a man who broke free from the streets of South Central LA to become a pioneer of gangsta rap and a Hollywood icon. From hustler to hip-hop royalty, this is his incredible story of transformation. Ice-T, born Tracy Lauren Marrow, came into the world on February 16, 1958, in Newark, New Jersey. Orphaned by the age of 12 after losing both parents, Tracy relocated to Los Angeles to live with an aunt. In South Central, Tracy faced the harsh realities of street life. Surrounded by gangs and violence, he learned to navigate the treacherous environment, eventually gravitating toward the Crips, one of LA's most infamous gangs. Ice-T's teenage years were marked by hustling. He turned to petty crime and later became involved in more serious activities, including robbery and theft. To fund his lifestyle, he began stealing car stereos and other valuables. But Ice-T was smart. He managed to avoid getting caught during his early criminal years, a feat he attributes to careful planning and his ability to stay under the radar. Still, the streets weren't where he wanted to stay. At 17, Ice-T decided to make a change. He enlisted in the U.S. Army, serving 4 years in the 25th Infantry Division. It was during his time in the military that he was first exposed to the world of hip-hop. Inspired by the art form, Ice-T began experimenting with rhymes, blending his experiences on the streets with his growing love for music. After his honorable discharge, Ice-T returned to Los Angeles with a new sense of purpose and determination. Ice-T burst onto the music scene in the early 1980s, first making waves with singles like Cold Wind Madness and 6 in the Morning, widely considered one of the first gangsta rap tracks. His lyrics, raw and unapologetic, painted a vivid picture of life in South Central LA. In 1987, he released his debut album, Rhyme Pays, becoming one of the first hip-hop artists signed to a major label. His follow-up album, Power, solidified his status as a pioneer of the genre. Ice-T's talent wasn't confined to music. In 1991, he made his film debut in New Jack City, playing the role of a cop in a gritty crime drama. The irony wasn't lost on fans, but his performance was critically acclaimed. This marked the beginning of a prolific acting career. Ice-T became a household name thanks to his long-running role as Detective Odafin Tutuola on Law & Order Special Victims Unit, a role he's held for over 2 decades. Beyond entertainment, Ice-T has used his platform to advocate for social justice and speak out against systemic inequality. He's also an accomplished entrepreneur, author, and podcast host. From winning Grammy Awards to earning accolades for his acting, Ice-T's achievements are as diverse as they are impressive. Today, Ice-T continues to thrive. He remains a pivotal figure in both the music and television industries while staying active in philanthropy and business ventures. Alongside his wife, Coco, and daughter, Chanel, he enjoys life as an entertainer and family man. From the streets of South Central to the top of the entertainment world, Ice-T's story is a testament to resilience, reinvention, and staying true to oneself. Next up, we're diving into the life of a hip-hop legend who turned his laid-back style into an international empire. From his early days on the streets of Long Beach to becoming one of the most recognizable figures in the world, this is the story of Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, born Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr., entered the world on October 20th, 1971, in Long Beach, California. Raised by his mother, Beverly, after his father left the family, young Calvin faced a challenging upbringing. Music was an early passion, with Calvin singing and playing piano in church before he discovered rap. But life in Long Beach wasn't easy, and the streets soon came calling. As a teenager, Snoop became affiliated with the Rollin' 20s Crips, a notorious gang in Long Beach. His involvement in gang life led to run-ins with the law, including arrests for drug possession and other crimes. In 1990, he served time in Wayside County Jail for cocaine possession. It was during these tough years that Snoop began to take his music seriously, using it as an outlet to escape the cycle of violence. Snoop's big break came in 1992 when he caught the attention of Dr. Dre through a mixtape. Impressed by his smooth delivery and unique style, Dre brought Snoop on board for his debut solo album, The Chronic. Snoop became an overnight sensation, and his debut album, Doggy Style, released in 1993, debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200. It solidified his place as a hip-hop powerhouse, with hits like Gin and Juice and Who Am I, What's My Name. Despite his success, controversy followed Snoop. In 1993, he was charged with first-degree murder in connection to a gang-related shooting. The trial lasted nearly 3 years and ended in 1996, with Snoop being acquitted of all charges. The case, while stressful, didn't derail his career. Instead, he used it as motivation to stay focused on his music. Over the years, Snoop has reinvented himself repeatedly. From rap to reggae as Snoop Lion, and even gospel music, he's shown his versatility as an artist. But it's not just music where Snoop shines. He's become a beloved pop culture figure, with acting roles, commercials, and even a cooking show alongside Martha Stewart. Snoop's influence extends far beyond entertainment. He's an advocate for youth programs, criminal justice reform, and marijuana legalization. He's also a savvy entrepreneur with ventures in cannabis, tech, and even esports, proving he's more than just a rapper. He's a brand. Today, Snoop Dogg continues to dominate the cultural landscape. Whether he's headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, mentoring new artists, or spending time with his family, Snoop remains as relevant as ever. From the streets of Long Beach to the global stage, Snoop Dogg's journey is one of resilience, reinvention, and unshakable cool. Last on our list, we're telling the inspiring story of a man who turned his life around against all odds. Charles S. Dutton, from a turbulent past to a celebrated actor and director. This is the story of transformation, resilience, and unshakable determination. Charles Stanley Dutton was born on January 30th, 1951, in Baltimore, Maryland. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood, life was anything but easy. Raised in a single-parent household, Charles faced poverty and a lack of opportunities. By his teenage years, he began running with a rough crowd, leading him into a life of crime. At the age of 17, Charles was convicted of manslaughter after a fight ended in tragedy. Sentenced to 5 years in prison, it marked the beginning of a cycle of incarceration. While behind bars, Dutton found himself in and out of trouble, leading to extended sentences. At one point, he was sentenced to solitary confinement for insubordination. It was here that his life took an unexpected turn. During his time in solitary confinement, Charles discovered an anthology of plays left in his cell. Intrigued, he began reading and fell in love with the world of theater. Eager to pursue this newfound passion, he convinced the warden to let him start a drama group for inmates. This decision would change the trajectory of his life forever. After his release, Charles was determined to continue his education. He earned his high school equivalency and later enrolled at Towson State University in Maryland. From there, he was accepted into the prestigious Yale School of Drama, where he honed his craft alongside future acting legends. Charles' big break came in 1984 when he starred in the Broadway production of August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. His powerful performance earned him critical acclaim and a Tony Award nomination. From the stage, Charles transitioned to television and film, landing memorable roles in shows like Rock and movies like Alien 3 and A Time to Kill. As his career flourished, Charles never forgot his roots. He became an advocate for at-risk youth and prison reform, using his own story to inspire change. He also stepped behind the camera, directing projects like The Corner, which won an Emmy for Outstanding Miniseries, further cementing his legacy in Hollywood. Today, Charles S. Dutton remains a respected figure in the entertainment industry. He continues to act, direct, and inspire others through his advocacy work. From a troubled past to a life of purpose and accomplishment, Charles S. Dutton's journey is proof that it's never too late to rewrite your story. And there you have it. 5 extraordinary stories of redemption and reinvention. Each of these individuals proves that no matter how rough the beginning, it's possible to rewrite your life story. From the harsh realities of crime and incarceration to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, they've turned their past into powerful legacies. Their journeys remind us that second chances can lead to extraordinary transformations. Whether it's on the stage, on the screen, or in their communities, these actors continue to inspire. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more incredible stories like this. And remember, everyone has the power to turn their life around. Until next time, keep chasing your dreams.